Larry was battling with his issues of needing an organ transplant. But he was in denial that he had ever received his transplant. He'd rather die than go through the experience of having a transplant because he never expected to receive one. Larry needed lungs, but he was kind of iffy about it because someone had to die in order for him to live. So he just chose the route to pass on without fighting for his chance to receive his organ. What came to my mind as I was reminiscing was when I was sick. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis about 9 years ago. I was on my deathbed, which led me to needing an organ. So this transplant was really a must need in order for me to survive. I would always tell my mom, I would always call my mom and let her know that I didn't feel good. And I told her I went to the doctor several times. And she would say, well, go back and tell them to do this. And I did, and they still couldn't find anything. So one day I told my mom, I said, Mom, I don't feel good. I don't know what's going on. I've been to the hospital about 5, 6 times, and they're telling me there's nothing wrong. So my mom said, go back to the hospital, and I want them to tell you I want you to tell them to give you a chest x-ray. So once they gave me a chest x-ray, that's when they found out I had this disease called sarcoidosis. And they had to take my lungs and my liver. So when I was living in Wilmington, North Carolina, no one ever heard of this disease. They wasn't familiar with this disease, and they didn't know what to do for me. So my mom, she was seeing Dr. Smart, which is a pulmonologist doctor here. He was treating her for asthma, and he also treated for sarcoidosis as well. So once I got connected with Dr. Smart, he got me on the right path. I was weighing 118 pounds. I went from 170 pounds to 118 pounds in 3 months. No one knew what was wrong. So after running multiple tests, put me in the hospital. I stayed in the hospital off and on for about a year until I was able to move to Durham to get on the transplant list. I went to Durham for lungs, actually, because sarcoidosis was in my lungs. Later, I found out I had cirrhosis of the liver also. So I had 2 organs that I needed. I needed liver and a set of lungs. But after multiple treatments and going to the doctor, they found out that actually I don't need a lung. I can live with the scarring of the tissue in my lungs, but I could not live with my liver because it was completely destroyed from cirrhosis. And so cirrhosis doesn't always come from alcohol because I don't drink. It came from my disease, which attacked my liver. So once I got to Durham, I had to move there. I moved from Wilmington first to start off in Wilmington, North Carolina. Then I moved to Charlotte. I stayed here for about a year or 2. And then once I was connected with Dr. Smart through my mother, Geraldine Wilder, he got me on the transplant list. I was on the list for about, due to my situation being critical, I only was on the transplant list 6 months. I watched several people pass away waiting on their organs, and they didn't get it. Good reasons to become an organ donator, you can save someone's life. If I wouldn't have had a donor, I would not be standing here talking to you guys today. Organs save lives. It gives you a second chance to relive your life. And you can reclaim all your life back that you lost during the process of being sick. I'm a living witness. I've been diagnosed with sarcoidosis 10 years ago. I'm a 5-year liver transplant survivor, and I'm doing well. I'm still here. If it's possible, everybody, if you're in good health, in good condition, and you're able to donate your organs, you should do that because it really can save someone's life. I never knew how important it was to need an organ until it happened to me. You never know how serious something is until it happens to you. You always see these signs, donate for this or donate for that, and it's serious because you have to have a certain amount of money before you even can be considered to get on a liver transplant. I had to raise $10,000 before I could even get on the list. I raised $10,000 with my powerful support team. Within 2 months, I had $10,000. And it's a lot of people that was at the rehab waiting. They couldn't even get on the list because they haven't raised the money. You have to have the money before you can even get on the list. So if you didn't raise that $10,000, you can't get on the list. And the $10,000 is not for your organ, because my liver transplant was like $1 million. $10,000 is for you. So after you have your surgery, if you need any out-of-pocket expenses, or if you have to like get medicine from the store that your insurance don't cover, that's what the money is for. If you need money for your bills, that's what it's for. Any kind of personal care, anything that has to do with your health, that's what the $10,000 is for. They want to make sure you have that $10,000 secured in the bag before you can even attempt to have a transplant, because they want to make sure you have that $10,000 to have your back for any expenses that your medical insurance may not cover. So you have to have the $10,000. In conclusion, I am very grateful to have a second chance at life. I was on my deathbed, but I had to have faith and knew that all things would work out for me. No matter what the doctor told me, if I had listened to them, they had me dead a long time ago. But I'm still here right now, 5 years later, after an 18-hour transplant, 65 staples, multiple medicines. I take about, my medicines has decreased since time has passed, and I'm doing well. I used to take like 30 medicines a day. Now I take 10 a day. I have to take 10 transplant pills. That's not including my other medication that I have to take. I take 5 transplant pills in the morning, and I have to take 5 at night. 9 and 9 for the rest of my life. I have to take that. It used to be more of a dosage when I first started after my transplant. I used to have to give myself, I used to have to take the blood thinner twice a day. I had to take the Coumadin and the warfarin. So I had to do the needle in the stomach twice, and I had to take the pill twice a day. It's a lot being a transplant patient, and if you can donate your organs to help someone, that's awesome, because it's a shortage in organ donation. A lot of people don't donate their organs until something happened to someone in their family, and then they see how serious it is, and then everybody become a donor, wants to donate the organs. My family members are organ donors. Once I became sick, they seen how important it is to donate, that the organ donation is serious. So you can donate, be a donor. You need to sign up at a doctor's office, or at a, you can sign up at, not the doctor's office, you can sign up at the driver's license place, or either your will, if you have a living will at the hospital, you can sign up there. Or you can also, it's plenty ways that you can sign up to become an organ donor. And they'll put it on your driver's license too, to let them know if you're a donor or not. And one other thing about being a donor, when you become an organ donor and you need a transplant, it's a certain amount of time that the organ can sit out before they put it in your body. So you have to, if you live in Florida, you have to move to wherever the location is for your transplant, because they'll call you. I had several dry runs. A dry run is when they call you and tell you not to eat anything. They have an organ ready for you. But they have to send it through so many tests. If it's too small, or if any small thing could be wrong with it, you can't get it, because it has to be perfect. You have to have the perfect blood match, the perfect size, the perfect height and weight. If not, they'll give it, if it is some good but it won't fit you, they'll give it to the next person in line. So you have to wait for that next call. I went through 21 calls before I finally got that 22nd call, and they told me, I knew it was my time, because when they called me on this particular time, they told me to get ready, your organ is here. And they told me they called me around 11 o'clock at night, and I got there, told me to be there by 1. I got there 1 o'clock at night, take a shower, get there 1 o'clock at night, but I didn't go into surgery until about 6 that evening. I woke up 2 days later. My surgery was 18 hours, so it was almost a whole day. So when I woke up, I had missed like 2 days. I didn't know what day it was. Do anyone have any questions? Well, if you're not a donor and you're able and you're in good health, please become an organ donator. Organ donation saved my life.